Did he get stabbed? What is going on?
You are now reacting to the K band Day 6.
Oh my god! Sorry, I didn't realize it was Day 6.
You are now reacting to the K band Day 6 and the title track You Make Me off of their final album of the Book of Us series. From the Book of Us series. The Book of Us series started in 2019 with Gravity. Then they released Entropy, The Demon, Gluon, Nothing Can Tear Us Apart, and they are now ending with Negentropy, Chaos Swallowed Up in Love. Negentropy meaning negative entropy.
Okay.
People are saying it is reverse entropy. It means things becoming in order. By order is meant organization, structure, and function, the opposite of randomness and chaos. One example of neg entropy is a star system such as the solar system. Another example is life.
Oh, so this was like a whole thing.
That's pretty cool.
The title track emphasizes the love one can feel for another and how that love is able to get you through the roughest of times.
Oh. Jinx, Yomi Soda.
As for the storyline of the music video, Day 6 fans have many different theories, so if you have questions about it, I'll try my best to answer them at the very end. The song is composed by Hong Ji-sung and the Day 6 bassist Young K and the keyboardist Wonpil.
3, 2, 1. I should have counted up to 6 because of Day 6.
Oh, that seems so nice.
Yeah.
Could you imagine dancing on the beach with someone and there's like just like 5 or 6 boys in the background just like staring at you?
I mean, if it was Day 6, I would have to play.
You love a piece that starts in falsetto.
Oh wow, they're holding the like throughout every single chord. That's so cool.
Yes, the echo is super cool.
This style shift? Dude, I hope he's driving himself to the hospital. I don't know where he's driving.
The distorted drum sounds so clear, and the moment it became super clear again, it becomes a pop song instead of a rock song, right when I expected a rock song.
Ooh. Being alive. See how free that was?
Oh, his belt is really good. Yeah, he's gonna crash his car. Oh my god.
He's hurt.
Yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
No.
Did he get stabbed? What is going on?
What happened? There you go.
He's losing it. Oh no. Everything's super exposed.
Was it a joke?
Wait, what?
Was it a blood pack?
Huh?
I'm so confused!
Yeah, wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
Ooh. Ooh. What?
Oh! Huh. Ooh, what?
What happened? Oh, I like hovering on the major 7th. That was really nice.
Also, he is in high falsetto. It's not just falsetto, it's like high falsetto.
Oh, and he just belted
head voice.
above his falsetto.
That's a cool chord. I can't quite make heads or tails of it. Sounds like a half diminished, but not.
Oh, I love that.
Oh wow, they just didn't even let it ring. They just.
They keep ending up on the E major chord. I'm like, da, da, but they never do it.
Yeah.
Every time.
True. Every ending is a new beginning.
Oh, that's so true. That's such a good way of thinking about life.
Oh, I was thinking about relationship.
Oh, that too.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Day6 does not have a bad song.
So was he really bleeding?
I think it might just be like metaphorical of like when you're in the depths and if you are like with the person you love, they can make you smile through the pain and lift you from that pain.
Are we gonna talk about the interpretation of the video first, or?
You liked it?
He died, and that's what he sees in his mind before he died. Yeah, I think it's clear as day.
I like low-key kind of wish that I'd watched the lyric video because I was definitely paying way too much attention.
Yeah, I was paying a lot of attention
I
to
was
the music.
like, why is he so stupid? Like coming at me like, yeah, I'm totally okay to drive, and her being like crying. And I'm like, throw the bitch in the back seat and drive her to the hospital. Like, go. What are you doing? I was like, okay, maybe she doesn't know how to drive, but that's okay. But also, like, he
I think this was a dream. I think all of it was a dream.
All of it was just a dream.
Because you said, and the footprints were only hers, you didn't see his. So he wasn't there, bitch. Like, bitch, I'm a ghost. Boop.
I think the weird chronological thing with him having died and then flashbacks to happiness when he was alive makes sense. I can get behind that.
I don't think it's a flashback. I think they just end up driving to the beach, and he sees a vision of the beach, and then he ends up being at the beach, and so it's like he's like dying.
I think it wasn't about him. It was not about him. It was about her. If you look at the footprints, it was all like a dream, I think, or what she wished she would have like had in a way.
Dude, so the beginning is like the 5 members of Day6 looking at her just dancing by herself, and they're like, Sweetie needs help.
I can give 2 theories. So first, what I think is going on is like the beach. You can see that the idea of the beach, the color and the saturation changes. And I mean, the whole thing ends with the beach. And so when we first see the sand and see the shoe prints going into the sand, it's when he's struggling, when he's lost too much blood. We see kind of a little bit of like a dreary, dreamlike sequence of the beach. And then it kind of fades back into, his girlfriend crying. And the wound, I don't think stands for he got shot. That's definitely symbolic of like the weight and the pain that he holds in his own life. And his girlfriend is certainly helping him through that, but he's hiding it from her. She's giving him stability, but he's definitely hiding it from her until he breaks. He's losing too much blood. There's no possible way he could like keep living. And especially at the end. I mean, you see this in like cinema all the time. Like, she's looking at him, and he's looking out into like the sun, and she's admiring him. It's like, oh, he's finally not in pain anymore. He's finally okay, right? But then again, if we look at it through like the lens of death, like if they do die, it does kind of touch on the idea that love transcends our concept of mortality. So like love, a relationship doesn't end when the person that you love dies. Love stays like consistent and constant through our like understanding of what death is. If we're looking at it through like the theory where they do die, it's just, I guess expressing the fact that love is just constant. It is what keeps entropy in balance. With like, it's love and chaos. It's like this constant back and forth, and love is the side of it that tries to keep the balance.
And I think you can hear it in the music as well, because in the beginning I thought it was more like a ballad like, but the vibes reminded me of Caribbean, and when people think of Caribbean, they think of like, oh, holiday vacation, and it's like that lighthearted feel, because the beat itself, that type of rhythmic syncopation is more dance-like. If you don't know like bachata, it's like a dance where you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and you move your hip up. And so you have this like dance-like feel on top of like a really slow harmonic progression, I would say. And like the voices, it wasn't as like heavy, like there wasn't a lot of instrumental, like, there wasn't a lot of like electric guitar, nor was there like a heavy percussion. But when that came in the chorus, I was like, oh, something's different. It was like a weird shift. And then you would get that shift in the verse, and then at the ending, you didn't hear it anymore because, and that's also when you saw that he had like the gun in his like stomach, and you're like, ooh, things are getting weird.
The gun in his stomach?
Gun or gunshot. We don't know what it was. That's another thing.
Could've been
What
stabbed.
What happened to him?
We
Like,
don't
what did she do, girl?
What did she do? I don't think she'd be dreaming
killed
of him. If she
You
thought
never
he stabbed him.
know.
The only thing that I musically caught on to is a lot of their phrasings. I thought they were done, and then they would go up again. Like they would keep going up, and I was like,
Yeah,
that's
they would.
really nice.
Because they do like a 5 of 5, and then a 5 of the next 5, and you're like,
I'm like, yes, give me more.
Yeah.
Keep going up.
it's the chromaticism
Sure.
for me. Yes.
Like
use
they
a
were
lot-
like you thought they reached a high point, and then they go up again.
No, but that's further why I don't think this was reality, because there was no like tonal center. I'm like, this is confusion. Like there's no like sense of
Was there
tonic.
no center?
That's what I'm saying. That's why I further realized it's not reality. Like she is not in reality, because the progression is moving further away from reality if you think about it. Well, from tonic.
Maybe one of them is an alien.
That was pretty good.
Your face looked, I don't even know.
Yeah. I didn't expect him to do that.
Yeah.
So much resonance.
Uh-huh.
Oh my lord.
Can we do a second lesson? Yeah. Okay. Just the way he sings in like 16th like rhythm, and like they're just playing
And it's
around
almost
with
like
it.
a auto-tuned talk box kind of sound going on for like little ad-libs. It's nice.
The contrast. Oh my god, his voice is so light, and then the instrumental is just like hard on.
There's like a synth going with the melody. Fantastic.
God, I love that. What are they doing? It's like inverted. Very satisfying.
Yeah, so the bass stayed the same between those two chords, which like, I think what it does is it's like the root and then it turns into like the 7th. When songs do that, that's fucking awesome. I don't know if that's true though.
I love
Wow, 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 wow.
the harmonies.
Wow. What the hell? And then this guy fucking rips it up. And just like the whole world explodes. The solar system explodes in like 12 seconds. I'm going to cease to exist. Yep.
Several song-filled hours later.
Yeah, so what moments of that song stood out to you?
The fourth bar of the chorus is kind of weird because I think he used it like a D sharp minor 11, which kind of go against the melody.
Oh, that.
That one. Oh, that's half diminished.
Ooh.
It's like. And then it's like. It's like. And then. No. And I forgot.
Oh, that sounds.
Maybe, but theoretically that works. But it doesn't sound like works. Or, oh, I know, because he add too much tension. It's like, I think it's probably that reason, because that at the 9, I don't know. But it sounds beautiful on the piano. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you had a sort of fifth sort of sequence. They did like a chord rooted on B, a chord rooted on C sharp to F sharp, and then it would go to like B, and then it go to E, and then it go to A. And so it has that sort of centered in classical tradition, makes sense. You can go ba 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 bum bum, and that makes sense as a root motion. And yet they threw in these weird, they threw in like an F natural, I think, for some like half diminish over B that you were talking about, and it like loosened the actual connection between how the chords function together. Then not just that specific thing, but how they like would end up on that E major, and it didn't feel like it was this surprise. It more just felt like it was, okay, we're here, and then let's just do something else. Let's go over here. And it wasn't, I didn't feel as a sense of purpose in how the chords related to each other, except for that one bridge section. That was the most interesting part, was with, at least for the harmony, how they went to C major. The C major, I think, introduction, how it went in, that was cool. It was really cool.
Yes. Yeah, that, wait.
Well, it sounds so much more smooth and calm on the piano.
That's true.
Yeah. And then what's that? Oh.
What stood out to you about the song musically?
1 second.
Okay.
Oh, just like the chord progression was so nice. Let me find specifically. And I thought like the instrumentation of it too was pretty cool. I thought like through the chorus there was this like synth that kind of played a bit of a counter melody on top of the vocal line, which I thought was really nice. And also there was just this odd synth sound that was kind of like playing in between the like downbeats that of the phrase, which I thought was really sick.
I'm a sucker for any time there's like those consistent notes in the verses. So the fact that they were able to like add on to that, and in the second statement of the first verse, they were able to harmonize over that. Like, that was really cool that they were able to add that. That just adds a whole nother layer to sort of your instrumental attention to detail. So I really appreciated that.
Yeah, so many different colors of the voice in this. But it started out in falsetto, which I always like. It's bold, you know, because usually songs are like start here and then go here and then come back down. But this is like, ah, and then he like belts and then comes back down. Man, belting on an ah. It's as open as it gets. And that was the continual vowel belted.
As vulnerable as it gets when it comes to belting.
And straight tone mostly. I didn't hear much vibrato in it.
I also just love the chorus. There's just something about that chorus where it feels like you're flying. It feels like you're soaring, you know? Just like, especially with like where it sits in his voice and how he's able to sing it and just the instrumentation behind it. It just is your arms open wide and you're like, yes, you're like fist pumping the air or something. I really enjoyed it.
I see day 6.
You see day 6?
I see day 6.
You see day 6?
I see day 6.